ready, Kinky, you go ahead.
Here's a story about one of my favorite American heroes. He was a Native American named Ira Hayes. He was one of the men who helped raise the flag after the Battle of Iwo Jima in the Pacific Theater of World War II. And if you don't know the Native American Thanksgiving prayer, it goes like this: thanks for nothing. The Ballad of Ira Hayes. Gather round me, people. A story I will tell about a brave young Indian lad you should remember well. From a tribe of Pima Indians, a proud and peaceful band, they farmed the Phoenix Valley out in Arizona land. Down their ditches for 1,000 years the sparkling water rushed, till the white man stole their water rights and the running water hushed. Ira's folks was hungry, their fields grew thick with weeds. But when war came, Ira volunteered and forgot the white man's greed. Call him drunken Ira Hayes, he won't answer anymore. Not that whiskey drinking Indian or Marine who went to war. Well, they battled up Iwo Jima Hill, 250 men. But only 27 lived to walk back down again. And after the fight was over, in Old Glory proudly raised, among the men who held her high was an Indian, Ira Hayes. Call him drunken Ira Hayes, he won't answer anymore. Not that whiskey drinking Indian or Marine who went to war. Well, Ira Hayes returned a hero, celebrated throughout the land. He was wined and speeched and honored. Hell, everybody shook his hand. But he's just a Pima Indian. No food, no friend, no chance. And back home, nobody cared what Ira did. And when do the Indians dance? Well, Ira took to drinking hard. Jail often was his home. They used to let him raise the flag there and lower it, just like you'd throw a dog a bone. And Ira died drunk early one morning, all alone in the land he'd fought to save. 2 inches of water in a lonely ditch was a grave for Ira Hayes. Call him drunken Ira Hayes, he won't answer anymore. Not that whiskey drinking Indian or Marine who went to war. Yeah, call him drunken Ira Hayes, but his land is still as dry, and his ghost, well, it's lying there thirsty in the ditch where Ira died. Call him drunken Ira Hayes, he won't answer anymore. not that whiskey drinking Indian or Marine who went to war.
Kinky Friedman, singer, songwriter, novelist, cigar aficionado. How do you describe yourself? There are many facets to you, aren't there?
A defender of strays.
I like that. It's simple.
That's about all I've got left. My only friends are stray dogs and old carriage horses. And you.
And me. I'm always your friend. It's always great to see the Kingster back in Ireland. You've been here in several
Great to be back. This is part of the Bipolar World Tour, which will do a couple of shows, 3 shows in Ireland. 28 shows actually in a row already done.
It's been an amazing career, you know, and all these different facets to the career as well.
It's a curse of being multi-talented.
It is. You kind of spread yourself, don't you, across all these different disciplines. Does anyone take precedence? Do you see it all as writing, for example? Do you see all the acts as writing?
That's too high. You know, it's a very high calling to be a musician or a writer. I think politician is where I'm destined, and even though you know my definition of politics, poly means more than one, and ticks are blood-sucking parasites. but I think there's politics in my near future. Yeah.
You did run for governor of Texas.
I ran
a few years back, 2006.
2006 as an independent candidate for governor, and Jesus Christ could not win as an independent in Texas. In fact, we won that race every place but Texas. But this time, I think I'll run as a Democrat in a more serious race, as an old-time Harry Truman-style Democrat, to legalize marijuana and legalize gambling in the state of Texas. And it will get a lot of nonviolent offenders out of prison when I'm governor, and make Willie Nelson very happy, I think.
It's a noble cause, isn't it, Kinky?
Yeah.
What is it about politics that appeals to you? A man who has spent so much of his time in the arts. Very often politics and arts don't mix. Why do you get something out of it?
Well, it seems that most of the politicians in the world today are descended from Neville Chamberlain. You don't see much evidence of Winston Churchill around. And I think the people should be let into politics. And I'm one of the people. I'm a man of the people. And there ain't many of them left, really, that really enjoy humanity. And so I think Texas particularly, Texas always does whatever the hell we want. And lately, for 22 years, we've had a political drought. We've had only Republicans elected. So I would like to see not just a do-over, but a whole different attitude toward politics. Bad people are drawn to politics these days. I'd like to see a few good ones get in.
We're talking to the Kingster on BBC Radio Ulster, Kinky Friedman in Ireland, in studio in Belfast. This is a good thing. We heard Sold American on the programme, and I have this very romanticised image of Nashville in the early 70s as a glory period, as a golden period.
Oh, it was.
And Christopherson kicking off and all these great icons. You were there, you were doing your thing, you were in that scene. Was it as good as I like to think it was?
Oh, I think it was. As Willie says, why Chris, Lord? Because Willie, that's a country music joke for most folks. But Willie left Nashville in 71 to come back to Texas. And Chris was just making it and was hitting it big, actually. And, you know, you wonder, those guys, Roger Miller, Willie, Chris, Shel Silverstein maybe, there's a handful of them, Johnny Cash. They wrote some real classic, great songs. And today you see Nashville with these long brothels of corporate publishing songwriter appointments where you got 3 guys in a room all down the hallway in little rooms writing. And in 30 years, you know, nobody has written Hello Walls, and nobody's written King on the Road or Silver Wings or Sunday Morning Coming Down. Hasn't been done. I guess these songs they're writing now are making money for somebody. But that was a great era, and I guess Chris was the most talented janitor in Nashville.
He used to clean out the ashtrays in the studios, didn't he?
That's right, yeah. And I got there just a little bit after that. I just, born too late.
All these years, Kinky, all these different experiences and your time in the literary world and music and politics. Well, is there a key lesson that you've kind of learned? Is there something that keeps coming up that you find as a good life lesson? Something.
I think so. I think find what you like and let it kill you. I think that's as good advice as I could ever give anybody. And of course, I think people should always remember Jesus loves you can be very comforting words unless you hear them in a Mexican prison.
The Kingster, Kinky Friedman.
Pleasure, Ralph.
It's been a pleasure.
Very
Thank
nice
you.
to see you again.